Come here, I'm gonna eat you! I'm bigger than you, I'm higher in the food chain! Get in my belly! Come on! You're lucky, wee man! Let me make you a deal, alright? You get the mojo, you keep your money, and I'll get your baby. Right.
Well, that's how she's going. So, she's, I don't know, sunny, but mostly cloudy too. So, they said it was supposed to come out in full sun around 6, but I think it did that way earlier when I was out shopping and running to North Dakota. It was getting sunny. So, Mother thought that there was a big snowstorm that was supposed to come today, but I know her radar, she didn't have something set up on her phone right, and she was actually, there was a snowstorm south of us, I don't know, 30 miles from here probably, so, you know, but it was going east, so it was going away from us, it wasn't even coming nowhere near us, so, we kind of got, well, Mother was in a hurry, but after I studied the radar some more, I realized that it wasn't even going to come. So, but we've been getting kind of snow on and off the last few days. We did get like another little light dusting of snow. And it's fine, like for the moisture, like, you know, there's going to be moisture in the hay, obviously, but you know, we just got to get rid of the snow. It hasn't really even warmed up much. It's still, like, it was down in the 20s and 30s there for a few days, you know, hence why it snowed. And then they're talking a few days now where it could be, you know, in the 40s, kind of just going up and down again. And then by end of next week, kind of, they're talking 60s. Maybe even closer to 70. But you got to take into account whatever there's going to be for wind. So, but if we get some 60s, then this snow will melt, and just whatever is remaining for snow will melt. There is still a little bit of snow left. It's not a hell of a lot. Mostly just where all the big snow drifts and stuff are at. Obviously, you know. So that's really all that's left now. Not a hell of a lot. So, but yeah, just kind of what it is. But yeah, a lot of the snow is melted now, which is a good thing. It just needs to hurry the hell up and just melt like more. So it just needs to disappear, you know. I'm tired of looking at it. So that car makes a funny noise. But yeah, I don't know. It's just it is what it is, you know. It's just freaking snow. I know Roosty 6 there or whatever, he got a couple of feet there or whatever from that last snowstorm we got. Yeah, I would say probably at least an hour from here, there was a snowstorm just a couple days ago that came by over the weekend. That brought about a foot or less, obviously depending on where you lived and how the snow was traveling. So they were threatening that with us too, but then they just kind of kept lowering it down every day, and then before you know it was just a dusting, and then that was kind of it. So, but yeah, it's snow needs to back off, that's for sure. A lot of farmers around here are already pulling out their air seeders and other stuff, getting ready. So getting them things pulled up into their shop and getting them ready. So now is the time to get them ready, I guess. So, but yeah, so I went and did some shopping. I did get a couple of parts for the Tahoe. I didn't get everything, just because it's expensive. So, but I was going to originally go online, order the stuff online, but then I actually found out that you were actually going to be paying more online than if you were just to go to a GM dealer and get your stuff there. So what I got for this is just one, but I got a drive belt. This is a AC Delco, but they still use, GM's part number or whatever. I got a new one of these, obviously, because I think this is what's causing my squeak. But I'm not going to install it because I don't have my other parts that I want here yet. I want everything here because in order to change this out, you literally have to take everything off to even get to it. So you might as well just replace everything since you're going to be that far into it. But yeah, this is a AC Delco, but I think it's still a GM belt. I don't know. It is what it is. It's just whatever it is. So I don't know. That's, let me show that. I guess there's the part number for it. Yeah, GM part number. So that is the belt. Now there's two of these. This is actually the main drive belt, or they just call it a drive belt because obviously with these newer vehicles, the cooling fans are electronic. They're not mechanical like the older stuff was. So then you would call these a fan belt if you still had the old school way of doing it. But my Blazer doesn't have that. It's the electric fan, which is fine because it actually opens up that area to make this easier to replace. So I think I'd probably stick with the electric fans no matter what. But yeah, he had this in stock. But what I'm going to do is I'm gonna bring this with me. I'm going to actually throw this underneath the back seat of the Blazer because I still have an upcoming doctor appointment up in the cities. Unlikely that belt will snap during that trip, but might as well bring this with me in case I do have a problem, or if the other belt, decides to just start slipping or whatever the hell goes wrong with it, then I can just throw that on. I can do that, on the side of the road somewhere or whatever. It's not going to be the nicest thing to do. So, because I have literally all the tools and stuff with me in my Blazer all the time, right? So, changing that, it's still going to suck, but it's just a peace of mind. But I don't really know what's wrong with the old belt because, it could be stretched out, but I don't know, because you think that if the belt was stretched, that you would see cracking, and I'm not really seeing any cracking as of yet. So technically, I think the belt would still be good, but it squeaks. So I'm hoping that by putting this belt on, I can get rid of that. But I'm still going to replace all the tensioners, and I think there's 2 tensioners on that thing, and replace both of them. And that'll be easy to do too. So, of course, and in order to change them out, you got to take your belt off, right? So, and then from there, you might as well change your air conditioner belt because that's your second belt now. You have one that's your main drive, and then you have a second belt that runs just strictly your air conditioner. So, or your air compressor, or whatever the fuck it is. It's what gives you AC in your car in the summer months. So that has its own belt as well. It's a much smaller belt than this, obviously. I don't have that. I'm going to order that. Hopefully I can get it. I don't know about next month because now next month is tax season. So We're back to doing that crap again. So, but if the air conditioner belt blows, I'm not going to care about it because obviously the Blazer will still run without it because it's just strictly for the air conditioner. And while we can live without air conditioning for a little while until we get it fixed, but this is for the main drive, so we don't lose, power steering and the water pump and or whatever the fuck else it drives, right? So, but the other thing that I did order, like I said, this will be thrown underneath my seat, and then once I do change it all out, fix it back up, I'm still going to keep my old belt. I'll just throw it underneath the seat, keep it as a spare. And then the other thing I ordered, because we need it, is a fuel cap. We're going to see if that will fix the issue. So again, this is supposedly a GM part. And I don't know how good this is going to show up. But that's your part number there. This big guy here. I don't know how good that shows up on camera for you. But that's what we're actually going to install today. Hopefully we can get around to it. Just because it'll be an easy fix. So shouldn't need any tools. I don't know why you would need freaking tools, but first you get a nice little GM bag versus getting dirty because of the workbench, but I'll put this back in there, I guess. But yeah, so that's really all I could get for right now. Was the belt and the fuel cap. I felt like the belt was the best choice because, if it breaks, then we have another one. So, what's going on here? Why didn't this open up? So, I should be able to set up my camera and then we can actually install this one. Because it's not that hard of a thing to do. Shouldn't be anyway. But hopefully this will fix the check engine light from coming on. So it's like they put it in a secondary bag. That's because they did. So, but yeah, it's supposed to be original. Like, it's supposed to be basically the same thing as what I have now, except new. It even says on here too, tighten until one click. You're supposed to hear this thing click when you put it on. See, my old one doesn't do that. So it says here, tighten until one click or service engine light may turn on. So, and it looks like all it is just, like a little locking tab thing there. You just snake it on and whatever. And this actually should technically have they do stamp the part number on here, which is actually a pretty nice thing. 2524. That's what this is. Yeah, 2524. So that's what we'll put on today. That shouldn't be too bad. So we'll see if that fixes the problem and if we actually get a click out of that when we install it. So now the thing is, I was going to order this stuff online because they were having an actual sale, and you actually could get this stuff like fairly cheap. Well, yeah, you can, but then when you pay for the shipping and handling, it's $35 for shipping and handling. I was like, nope, I'm not doing that. So I can't remember exactly now, because now they had it on sale on the website, you know. But I think if you were to buy it at full price, you'd probably be paying like $140, probably $150 for it. So I figured, okay, well, if you get it on sale, you know, it'll be a little bit less. But then they nail you with the shipping. So shipping got it well over $150, which I think it's ridiculous to pay that amount for shipping. You know, $35. It's ridiculous. I went to my local GM dealer. Now, unfortunately, with my GM dealer, well, I would have ended up paying full price for these parts anyway. But he was able to get me kind of like a discount, you know, so I got a few bucks off the parts. So, well, we can actually look at it right here. I got the receipt. So, it actually was, well, it was reasonable. It's more acceptable than $140 for parts and then that $35 for shipping. So, this is actually the receipt. So, okay. So, we'll start with the belt. Originally was $66.32. He was able to get it down to $59.69. The gas cap, brand new or full price, would have been $53.18. He got it down to $47.87. So actually, originally it would have been just $107. But unfortunately, there is a state tax, whatever the hell that is, which is ridiculous for the state of North Dakota, but I think every state probably has one. That was $7.53. So I got it up to a grand total of $115.09. You know, so really for $115, that's not bad. Now I'm far from done. Obviously, I got I think I still have 3 more I have to get. That's including the air conditioner belt. You got the 2 pulleys. I think one is just a guide, and then the other one's a tensioner. And then you have your belt for the air conditioner, so that's 3. You know, and they're all going to be expensive too. So, but they're less important. But I still want to do it because if you have to tear into it, you literally got to take everything off just to change your drive belt out. You might as well just change your pulleys out too. Your guide or your guide pulley, and then your tensioner. The other pulleys, obviously, that I can't change out would be the one for the air conditioner, all the other things that take fucking pulleys, you know. Your power steering pump and your whatever. So, and your alternator, you know, like all that stuff, I can't do that myself. So that would have to get done at a GM dealer. Or I think this guy could do it too, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to send my Blazer over there too much, especially for actual mechanical work. Because if I know that it's actually getting done by a GM dealer, at least I know, you know, it's getting done right. So, but I don't know. So, but you know, in all reality, $115 for those 2 things, it's not horrible. Obviously I paid way more for other parts, but it's just yeah. So I don't know. But like I said, we'll put the fuel cap on today. Of course, I won't know if that's going to work or not, obviously, until we've driven it for a month or 2 and no check engine light comes on. And then if that doesn't happen, well, then you know you would have fixed it. Plus, it has to apparently make a clicking sound in order for it to actually work. So, obviously, on my old one, it doesn't do that. So, but whatever, it is what it is. At least, you know, to have the drive belt here, that's the main thing, in case the other one snapped, you know, then I could shove that one on and we could be, we wouldn't even have to limp it. We could just carry on with our day. Same thing with the air conditioner belt. Obviously, if we blew an air conditioner belt, well, screw it, you know. You can run it without the air conditioner. Just put the windows down. You'll be fine. The pulleys, like the tension pulleys and the guide pulley, whatever, those haven't failed as of yet because there's not a lot of slop in them. And I think even if they do kind of fail, all they're really going to do is they're going to lean off to one side a little bit, which would probably put your belt under more strain. But I think you could still limp it home on that if you had to. I still think what I'm going to do is, even if I do replace all the pulleys, the ones that I can do myself, I'll keep the old ones. I'll keep the used ones. I'll keep them underneath the seat. Obviously, so in case if you get a defective one, then you can just shove your old one back on, and that would get you through until you could get a new one. So, but it's very rare that those things wear out. They do last for, I guess it really just depends on how much you drive it. You know, it all boils down to how you're driving it. But I think for me, at the rate that I'm driving it, I should easily get 10 years, 20 years out of them, really. The belt, I don't know, the belts are always under constant tension, so, well, so is your guide pulleys and your tensioner pulley, but they get used a lot more when they're actually running it because they bounce. So, I don't know, it's just cheap insurance to keep all that crap underneath the seat. And if you don't ever use it, you don't ever use it. At least you know it's there. Obviously, if you have a much bigger problem, yeah, you're gonna get towed or pulled home or whatever. You're not gonna be able to drive it. So, but at least try to control it a little bit. At least have some control over it. That's the only thing that we can do. So, but yeah, I don't know. Other than that, that's pretty much it. I will go and install that fuel cap at least and get that done, because that'll probably be the easiest thing on the planet to do besides an oil change. So we're down to 20% oil life. I think I can limp it the rest of this month for sure. So yeah, I don't know. Driving in the summertime, she definitely. Because I drive it way more in the summertime, obviously. So yeah, it definitely goes through the oil life. So I'm almost kind of thinking I'd have to change the oil in that Blazer twice a year. And the oil is getting dark, so it is getting down there. It is getting, to the end of its life, but whatever. It is what it is. So, but she won't get an oil change for probably another month or so. But like I said, I got a doctor appointment coming up, so I kind of wanted that. So I ain't gonna worry about the oil. I'm more worried about this than I am my oil. So the oil, it's not burning oil. I actually looked it over last night, the Blazer. I did a complete walk around, minus checking air pressure, because you can run it onto a certain point, and then the pressure light will come on anyway to tell you, hey, your tire's under a certain amount of PSI, and then you can fill it up from there. And plus, you would see the tires squatting a lot more. And my tires haven't changed much since spring, so wouldn't hurt to check them anyway. But I think they'll be all right. I'll probably check them before I go down to the cities, just to have another peace of mind. But those tires are kind of getting down there too. That's another thing the Blazer's probably going to need. Probably another year or two is new tires. I don't know if I'll do the spare or not, but the spare has never been used. But it's an old tire. They even say too that you got to change your spares out every once in a while because they just, they just get old. So, but I don't know. That's pretty much it, I guess. I'll go and install that fuel cap. I'll bring you guys with. That shouldn't take... I already have my tripod and my little headlamp and whatever out there, but shouldn't take too much to do that. I just undo the cable, put the new one in, and then just screw the damn basher on, and you're fine. So, and if I hear a click, well then hooray. If I don't hear a click, well then I don't think that's going to fix my problem. Then it's probably the filler neck itself that probably needs to be replaced, which I'm not doing. So it'll have to go to GM then to have them do it. But I don't know how often do those things wear out, you know. I think your filler cap would wear out way more than that. Way quicker than that, you know. So, and I'm guessing the one that's on the Blazer now is probably original. I can't remember now. I think it is because well, you guys will see it in the video when gonna take a video of it. But this one, the thing was white. At the bottom of the cap was white. I think on this one is black. I think. I don't remember right now, but we'll find out when we go to play around with it. But other than that, it's probably original, you know. So it's hard about time to fix that. And if that does fix the problem, that's probably the easiest thing that anybody can do. It's just a lot of people don't want to bother. You wouldn't believe how many vehicles I've seen for sale, like on the Facebook Marketplace, whatever, and they have the check engine light on. And you're thinking, and now knowing what I know, and of course depending on the vehicle, but most GM products are probably the same way, their check engine light is probably on because of their fuel cap. It's probably not a sensor. I mean, it can be a sensor. Sensors can go bad too. But given how mine comes and goes as I play with the fuel cap, kind of makes me think that's the fuel cap that's, you know, that it's just wore out. So, but I don't know. Yeah, I guess, guys, I'm going to take off. We're going to go and install the fuel cap now. So, yeah. Let's at least go get that done. And then that'll be one less thing to worry about. So, let's go do that.